told me that a good thing to think about when we're talking about transition is when we take the club back, we're going to set the club on a shelf behind you. Okay, so we're not taking it back, we're not bumping into the shelf, we're not knocking the shelf over. We're just setting the club lightly on the shelf. Just a nice little pause at the top, and it's funny how much it would affect that slight little pause at the top can have on the whole sequence of events leading towards you making contact with that ball, and that can really lead to a little more centerness of contact with your irons. So maybe try that. Maybe that's something to think about as to work on our transition. So when I'm teaching chipping, I always like the club face pointed at the target. But we can set up open, and what that really does is that exposes that bounce. So let's say our swing bottoms out a little behind the ball, because that bounce is exposed and the sole of that club is not coming into the ground. It's not coming into the ground as sharp, so it's not going to dig as much. So if we point the club face at the target, set up a little open, a little shaft lean, but not much. We take that club back very shallow. See how much that pops up, and a little bit right there. I caught behind that ball a little bit, but because it's not sharp right here digging into the ground, the club's not going to be affected by it. So, especially down here with Bermuda grass, if you're chipping into the grain, like we went this direction, it's a little more into the grain. If we're chipping into the grain and you don't have that bounce exposed, you're not using that bounce, and that sharp leading edge is coming into that Bermuda grass, you're dead. You're chili dipping that. All right. Obviously short game shots it's the shot that we hit, that we vary the trajectory the most. Like this, we need a higher trajectory. Sometimes if we were a little closer and we felt like we had a little more green to work with, might throw it in a little lower and get that 2-hop stop type shot you're talking about. But as a rule of thumb, the more your hands are ahead at impact and the more that you lost the face, the lower the ball is going to come on. Okay. I did notice too, it looks like your grip is fairly strong compared to some. Anyone ever told you that? Yeah, a lot. Yes.
Tried to change it, but it's just
that is something.
It's a long process.
It is, and it's something that especially for better players, it's a real struggle to. Just taking a look at your aim. Right, you want to take a look back, a little to the right of that target, kind of in between, which I think your body in reaction to that has at times come over the top, and that could be what produces that pull a little bit. I want you to feel like you're aimed left of that flag out there, and hit one where you kind of feel like you push that ball out towards the flag. So go a little more left. There you go. That looks great.